We're close to the weekends. Reading with old fans. Tonight we are reading The Rainbow Mystery. Have you ever wanted to be a detective? It's not easy. I know. I tried to solve a mystery once, a rainbow mystery. I was in the family room with my best friend Mike. Mike never says much. Mom says that's why I like him. I'm loud. Mike is quiet. I talk. He listens. We were making a fort from a big box. Mike had found a box by the house next door. He was cutting a window. I was telling him what to do. That's when I saw them, hundreds of little rainbows. Mike, look, I yelled. Mike looked. He almost fell over. The little rainbows danced across the wall. Wow, was all he said. We watched the rainbows. They faded away. Then they were gone. We jumped up and ran outside. No rain, said Mike. I knew what he meant. Everyone knows rainbows come when it rains, but it wasn't raining. How could there be a rainbow without rain? I started thinking. One time I saw a rainbow in a patch of oil. I said, it wasn't raining then. He looked. There was no patch of oil. Last summer I saw a rainbow in a sprinkler. I said, was there any sprinklers nearby? No. I remembered another time I saw a rainbow. My friend Kelly has a glass teardrop necklace. It makes a rainbow when the light hits it. It didn't bother to look. I didn't bother to look. I knew there were no glass teardrop necklaces around. Mike and I sat down on the steps. It was late. The sun was low in the sky. We have to be detectives. We have to solve this mystery, I said. Mike nodded. Mike came over real early the next morning. We sat like statues in the new fort. We waited and waited. No rainbows. The day after that, Mike came over for lunch. We waited in the fort again. Still no rainbows. Monday was rainy. Mike thought for sure we would see the little rainbows again, but the rainbows didn't come. On Tuesday, Kelly wore her teardrop necklace to school. I didn't think the necklace would help, but I didn't have any other clues. Can you make a rainbow? I asked her. I can try, Kelly said. She stood by the window and moved her necklace in the light. Look, I yelled. The teacher came over. He's a really nice guy. I showed him the rainbow. Terrific, Mr. Roll said. He called the other kids over. Kelly's necklace is like a prism, Mr. Roll told us. A prism is a special piece of clear glass or plastic. It spreads light into the 7 rainbow colors. Maybe a prism made the rainbows on the wall in my house. Mr. Roll didn't say anything else about prisms, but he told us stuff about rainbows. I wrote it all down. After school, I told Mike about the necklace. It's a clue, I said, but I didn't know enough about prisms. Mike nodded. He got a look in his eye. We knew what he was going to say. The library, he said. So we went to the library and picked out a whole stack of books on rainbows and prisms. The librarian was new. She smiled and turned to the computer screen. Look, she said. We're neighbors. I'm Mr. Reed. I bought the house next to yours. I moved in just last week. She seemed nice. I'm Annie. This is Mike. I said. Mike tugged me on my sleeve. That meant hurry up. We wanted to work on the mystery. Come visit sometime, Mr. Reed said. Okay, I told her. I flopped on the couch with a fat book. I started reading out loud. A rainbow is made when sunlight is bent by raindrops in the air. A prism bends sunlight too. Mike said nothing. Instead, he gasped. The rainbows were back. I got up. I touched them. The rainbows show on my fingers too, all 7 colors. There were there red, orange, yellow, blue, indigo, and violet. Then I thought of something. What time is it? I asked Mike. Mike looked at his watch. 5 o'clock. Ah, it's the same time as before. I said, we didn't see the rainbows in the morning or at noon. We only saw them after school. Mike nodded. The sun, he said. Yes, I said. I remembered this poster at school. It must have to do with where the sun is. Like one person, we turned around and stared out the window. So, where is it? Mike asked. I don't know, I said. Let's go outside and look. We rushed outside. No wonder we couldn't see the sun from the family room. It was behind the house next door. The answer to our mystery is in that house, I said. Mike nodded. At exactly 4:30 the next day, we rang the doorbell of Miss Reed's house. Annie, Mike, she said, you came for a visit. Come in. We followed her inside. Before I could stop myself, the question burst out of me. Mrs. Reed, do you have a prism in your house? Mrs. Reed looked puzzled. A prism? No, I don't think so. I was sad to hear that, but I didn't give up. Miss Reed could have a prism and not know it. She gave us lemonade and cookies. Then she asked if we liked a tour of the house. Yes, Mike and I said at the same instant. Miss Reed showed us the dining room. No prisms anywhere. Then we went into the living room. Still no prisms. We took the stairs to the second floor. The answer had to be up there. This is the music room, Mrs. Reed said. She opened a door. My favorite part is the chandelier. I just bought it. I had no idea what a chandelier was. Maybe the fancy light on the chandelier, but I didn't care. I was busy looking for prisms on the floor, in the cabinet, on the walls. Then Mike grabbed my arm. I ran to the window. Yes, I could see into my house. I couldn't see into the family room. I could see the rainbows on the wall too. For once, I had nothing to say, but Mike did. The glass chandelier is a like a bunch of prisms, he yelled. I stared at him. It was the longest sentence I had ever heard him say. What do you mean? Miss Reed asked. I told her the whole story about the rainbows and Kelly's necklace and the library books. I even told her about making the fort from the big box Mike found outside. A big box? Miss Reed asked. Was it by my house? Yes, I said. The chandelier came in that box, she said. I looked at Mike. Mike looked at me. The box, the biggest clue of all, was in my house the whole time. Some detectives we are. I hope you enjoyed this book. Make sure to share and subscribe. Have a great night.